Okay, I think we're going live.
Did you do it way back
Oh
when
yeah,
women couldn't win? Yeah,
we're
I
live, sweet.
we're live.
hello.
And that's how prohibition was ended.
That's right. Don't forget your diaphragm.
And vote. And vote.
You know, you give people 1 week off, and they get very, very sassy when they come back.
Very sassy.
Jane, speaking of diaphragms, I don't know. I had nothing to say. I just wanted
I was
to
gonna say,
segue.
where do we go from there? Like,
I
what
have
is
to
that
say, you
about?
really had my interest.
Yeah, you were like, yes, Kelly.
I'm really. Oh, this is old. I'm more of a sponge girl way back. That was the best.
I mean, that does seem the best for cleanup.
Oh my god.
Okay, I just changing the subject. I
Why?
well, no, I just wanted to tell you, hello, UPS truck. So, we won't be doing Christmas because it's on Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Thursday. And then
okay.
next week, Christmas, New Year's Eve is on a Thursday, so we're gonna get 2 weeks off. Yeah, but this is still our 36 week, lady. This is
36.
Wow, this is crazy.
I've never been this committed to anything.
Right.
And I've
I know,
been
and Kelly
married.
and I had gym memberships.
Yeah. Sometimes we just meet in the parking lot and then walk to Starbucks.
That's true. That's
I
true.
want to go in. Do you? No.
So, Kat, what's new with your kids?
You know, pretty much nothing. I mean, you know,
But some of the schools went back home, or
we live in a very small town, like a very small town. So we're very fortunate that, you know, we still have hybrid learning going on. And so
How
yeah,
many days do they are in person?
2.
It's still a break.
It's better than nothing. Yeah. So we so that's what we're, you know, but they're good. They're funny. They're just
But
cracking
I was so happy to see Dr. Fauci today quoted in Broadway World, which I've sent on to Kelly because I know that's her thing.
I do love it.
I mean, they never talk about science or anything. It's all but they quoted Dr. Fauci saying that he really thinks like May or June. And if Dr. Fauci says it, that makes me feel really good. Also, I don't want to pull rank, but I am over 65. I'm getting a shot.
Oh, you are?
Well, you could go into a nursing home, you know, so the people it'll be the, you know, healthcare providers, of course, as it should be. And I think people in nursing homes, I could check in for a week and then, oh, I feel terrible. Look at my back.
Yeah, but if you get it, but if you get the shot and none of your family does, like, does that matter?
Oh boy. Well, I
wonder if you can still transmit
Yeah.
okay.
it.
Yeah, I
Inquiring
don't know.
minds.
I don't know science.
The CDC is going to get more specific, but
I'm sure.
there's not much good to turning old, so I was happy.
I actually have an idea of how they could get the vaccine out.
I can't wait to hear it.
I have a feeling.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dr. Fauci listening?
All right.
Okay. Go ahead,
I'm
Kat.
all for, like, you know, don't reinvent the wheel, and if something's working, use that. And here's what works. Those Kohl's flyers that you have to peel off to see if you got 15, 20, or 30%. So there's 2 things in here. First, you always peel it off because even if you don't need like a comforter or a fleece or a coffee maker, you're always like, I don't know, maybe it might be more than 15%. So you do that and maybe up the 30% there, and then you lick it. And that is the vaccine. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. It's a trick to get people to take the vaccine.
Well, it's not a trick. It's just like you're going to be getting this anyway. They've got probably a pretty good mailing list.
A fabulous
And-
idea. I read somebody saying we should just pay people. You know, I mean, it would be worth it to the rest of us and to get our economy back on its feet to pay people.
Do you think that people wouldn't get the vaccine because they don't want to get they want to get paid? I think that the people who aren't going to get the vaccine don't trust the vaccine.
Money is an incentive. Right. Money is an incentive. You know, you want a new pair of Nikes or something, or
I'd get my whole face pierced for a box of cereal right now.
Right.
I like that you're saying the Kohl's thing, Kathy. I also think that 2020 is the year of not licking. You're not supposed to lick stuff.
Well, I mean,
in
I think
2020.
everybody, but that's the beauty of this plan because everyone misses licking. I mean, it's one of those things like you don't want to do it until somebody says like you can't do it. Then you're like, I really want to do that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, have you ever done like a diet where like you can't have like all you can eat is meat? Then you're like, I want everything but meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that I relate to.
Or when you got married and you're like, you can't be with other people. And you're like, I really want to be with
Okay,
other
now you're putting it on our level.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm beginning to understand.
I read an article yesterday. Someone posted it. It's a mutual friend of all of ours, and I can't remember who it is, so forgive me. And they were talking. Maybe it was Wendy Liebman posted it. It was an art. Yes, Jane. Do you remember? Did you see it?
I'm not sure, but this sounds like a Wendy or Kathleen. So
The sugar cubes. They were saying that the sugar cubes used to. That's how they got the polio vaccine into kids. They put it on sugar cubes, and they took the sugar cubes.
I think I did that. They the first go around. No, the first round they gave us a needle.
Yeah.
But the second time, I think I remember
You were
the
in
hospital.
school. They gave it to you
I
in
got
school.
a sugar cube.
Were you like, oh, what's this? A sugar cube?
God, Jane smoked
Now,
when
if
she was 11.
Now, if you're a new
I
viewer,
was
you won't
quite a
know this
child then.
reference.
It was
You will
like
not know
this.
this tie back. But Jane was a chain smoker at a very young age.
Yes.
11.
She was
I
playing
about-
dice on the playground and selling off her polio vaccines. I got polio.
I think I was about 6 or so when it was actually preschool. I was 5 or
You'd
6.
be little, yeah.
Yeah. Even,
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was like, huh.
That is interesting.
And it
also shows that my
the money. I think the sugar cube is the way to go.
Yeah.
Is there some like candy that all the kids like that we could put it, in a pixie stick? That's old, but a Tootsie Roll, gum.
Why are we poo-pooing my Kohl's idea?
Oh, Kohl's is the best. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
The licking. Yeah, not a licking.
No one's
So when you
saying,
said licking, I thought it was going in another direction. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
happy that you kept it on the actual
Bring it back.
thing.
I don't want to lick
Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Although-
do, Kelly.
When you say it, Kelly, this is a double meaning.
Have you seen them giving this vaccine though? Like when the news reports on it, how big that needle is?
Get out. I might not be able to do it then.
No,
Well,
just look the other way.
Yeah, you got to look away.
You
Yeah.
don't look. And hope you get a person who can find a vein.
What?
No,
No,
you
it's
don't need a vein. No,
put it in your vein?
They shoot it right in. They don't
in
need
your
a vein.
arm.
Yeah,
Well,
it's your
veins.
arm in.
When I think needles, I think veins. Because I watch all the
Shoot
drug movies.
coronavirus right into your vein.
What you need to do is don't work out because you don't want muscles because muscle, it hurts the muscle. But when you get some
Yeah.
fat around there, it's fine.
I got no issues there.
Yeah, I'm
Bring
good.
it.
Well, are you guys going to wait or are you going to get it as soon as you can?
I get it when I can.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
okay.
get it when I can.
As soon as I can, but my husband wants to wait.
What's it waiting for?
Yeah.
Oh, to see people maybe have adverse effects. Sorry.
Well,
I'm going to jump in right away. I'm so desperate to get back on a stage. I just,
yeah, me too.
it's going to be, if we get Pfizer or Moderna, it's 2 steps. So it's this, from the first shot, it's 5 weeks to get the second shot.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
so,
but the thing though, Jane, is that your audience has to be vaccinated too. It's like,
no. Oh, this was really cute. As part of the Boston Comedy Festival, Jim McHugh interviewed Lewis Black. I just love and adore Lewis. Long time. I know him a little bit. But what were you saying? Oh yeah. So Lewis says he's not doing Zooms at all. Nothing. He's not doing live theaters. And Jim said, well, they're going to be, 10 feet away from you. And if you're a singer, the audience has to be 14 feet away from you. He said, Jim, look at me. The way I talk, they got to be 25 feet away from me.
It's fair.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
And Lewis also talked about, he's just one of my big heroes, how he's been disrespected in the business, kind of. And, to me, he's one of the biggest stars
Agreed.
out there.
Yeah.
And yet he's still, yeah. Do you want to hear about this? I just thought it was so interesting. he's done all 3 Daily Show hosts. He said Craig Kilborn, who could barely read the jokes. I just love that he was so honest, because Craig Kilborn, such a, anyway. And he said, I'd always loved Liz Winstead. It was her idea. She was the driving force behind it. And they threw her under the bus, for that good-looking white guy who couldn't deliver a joke. But then in came Jon Stewart. They mutually respected each other. Then he started Back to Black because McHugh was asking, first big break, and he said it was really the Daily Show, Back to Black, or Back in Black, Conan plus Comedy Central. And what was I going to say? I don't know. He just had so many. Well, he's such a mensch. he's just such one of the really great guys in the business. And he said, but this is how he got a little dissed, and sort of be passing this along, Louis. I should only pass along your praises. But when Trevor Noah came in, they'd had some writers come over from NTV or something. He said Trevor gives him great props and respect, and he said, frankly, looks up to me. But it was either during the Jon Stewart, I think it started in the Jon Stewart, the writers would take out his jokes. He's Louis. And they're taking out his jokes.
Yeah,
and he said, I went to a therapist about it. and he said, I didn't need to go to a therapist. It's free advertising. Why would I not do this? Write your hearts out, kids. I'll say whatever you want to say. It's an acting job. But the other thing that he said that was, and they're like, you shouldn't take away Louis's lines because his rhythm is quite unique. And he said that's another reason he didn't want to do live, because he said he gets into rhythm with the audience, like da 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 da, laugh, da 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 da, laugh. And he said he writes a lot on stage. This is a guy who would do 200 shows a year.
Wow.
But when the other young people who'd come over from MTV were rewriting his stuff, at first he took umbrage, and then he wisely figured out, hey, I'm still, it's free advertising, gets people to come see me.
Yeah.
But he said, under Trevor, more and more of his jokes are getting in. But what he thought to himself was, okay, I'll do their jokes, but the whole reason I am who I am is my attitude, right? Louis is a ranter. And I know the story of that one. He was doing stand-up in New York, maybe 15 years into it. I mean, Louis was didn't catch on quick. And someone said to him, hey, Lou, I'm kind of angry off stage. You ever thought of putting that on stage? And that was the
Really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I would have recognized a happy Louis.
Yeah. Off stage, he is one of the nicest, most charming, gracious, giving. He's a really good guy. And it's so funny when you see, what movie was he in that he was the angry bird or something?
Oh yeah, in Inside Out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He was angry in the emotions. Yeah.
Right. It was.
Adorable.
Oh, yeah. The other Louis story that wasn't in this interview, but I know I've been following him forever. He said someone was making a movie about him, about Louis Black. He auditioned for it and he didn't get the part. He is Louis. I mean, this is how we can get disrespected. I mean, what a field. You can't get the part that is you.
Yeah.
But you just keep going. You just keep going. You hit a little wall, you go around it.
Right.
You just move on. Same in your biz, Cat. I mean, you're in the real world.
Oh, you can't help it. You have to just keep going. I mean, there's really no, there's a lot of anger over here too.
Well, we sort of
all got the anger.
We take it as sort of we can be it's a wonderful industry in a lot of the people, but we're not always treated the best. Do I have an amen to that?
Yeah,
okay. Is ours worse than yours, or are they all the same?
I think there's all in all industries or something, and then if you're a woman, in the industry too, that adds a whole nother layer, on top of it. And I think with artists, it's the same thing with artists and authors, and in what I do, it's like people think you should just do it for free, because that's one of the biggest things I think that we have to combat, and I'm sure you probably have to do it too. Like,
don't
Yeah.
even.
So I think that's part of it, because we don't think, this is fun, but it's also our
right
business,
livelihood.
right?
I say always two things about the payment. Well, maybe three. First, I want to be paid to show respect. I have a very sliding scale. If you're a corporation, it's one thing. If you're my friend, if you're doing the Undies Project, it's according to who it is. And what was the other thing? Oh, you can't eat prestige.
Exposure. Like on our side, that's exposure. Everyone's always like, oh, do this for exposure. I'm like, I can't take exposure to the bank. So thanks.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I really want to put a shoe in that person's mouth when they say it's great exposure. Like, I've been exposed. I'm as exposed as I can get without taking off my clothes. And the other thing, my husband's in real estate. Nobody ever says to him, hey, Ken, give me a building. Right?
Yeah.
That would be giving away what he does. And so I felt sometimes it's a hard call, though. You guys can chime in here. Next week, I'm going to do League of Women Voters. And I didn't want to charge them because they're mostly volunteers. I do want to charge them. I should start out the other way. I love them. I know a lot of these women, and they're doing good for the universe. Okay. And they try to be bipartisan. They're a really good organization. But it should also be part of the world that women get paid and professionals get paid. Oh yeah, I'm only doing 15 minutes for them, but that's, I only put 20 plus years into it. So maybe I deserve to be paid. So I gave them a low fee and they said yes. And I said to my friend, because they always put up the person who's closest to you.
Right.
They tap you on the shoulder and then they're like, oh, now what do I do? And to put the hit on you. But actually, the funny story about the woman they put up to asking me was I never lobbied before. It was so thrilling. After Sandy Hook, awful thing, take out all those first graders and the teachers, and awful thing. And our two state reps and one state senator are Republican. Greenwich is very Republican, and one of friends if you can't talk to Republicans. So we all go. They're all Republican in the car, except for, and they do bring nice muffins. Like, you guys got it going, okay? And the one other Democrat in the crowd, we were just posing for a picture together, and we didn't realize it was behind a great big seal that said Greenwich Republicans. And she sent that to me before she put the ask on, and I'm there like, so I gave them quite a modest price. I just want to be paid. Another on the list, this group, the cat, I'm really not giving you, okay, sorry, ADD isn't a major overgrowth.
Hey, jump in here, but.
You can feel free to interrupt me. See, they are very well behaved, like.
We are well behaved.
We're just listening.
Well, Kat and I have this mutual friend who, I don't know if she came up with this. It's in back of her, often over her shoulder when she's on a Zoom. And it's all in black with the white letters that say, fuck you, pay me. I just find that very inspiring.
What's funny is on Giving Tuesday was this week, obviously, and my inbox was inundated, right, with stuff like everyone else's. And if I have it, I'll give it. If I can spare it, I will give it every single time. I was taught that when I was young, like, if you have it and you don't need it, give it to someone who does. Like, that's how my parents, that's their life philosophy. And I did have a moment on Giving Tuesday where I was like, I mean, if you're giving, my Venmo is, you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
Because I couldn't give to everything that was coming across my email. And normally I would, but this year's been really different. And so, everybody's fine, right? And I'm super grateful and thankful. But there is that moment where you're like, I want to help. So instead, what we did is my husband and I were like, let's pull together all of our winter coats and donate them.
Oh, bravo.
How many winter coats do you need? Right? Like one coat, that's all you need. And my husband's very dear. He actually pulled a bunch of tags they're doing a virtual giving tree through his work, and he pulled a bunch of tags and ordered stuff. Like, if you want to feel good about what you have or feel thankful, look at what, I don't know, an 8-year-old girl would like to have for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like socks.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast. Yeah.
A warm jacket, right? Snow boots. Like,
especially this year, it just
like, be thankful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, for me, the Giving Tuesday and whatever was like, I didn't realize that I knew this many people.
Right.
It was Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, then Giving Tuesday, Cyber Monday, then Giving Tuesday. I was like, wow.
It was Wednesday. Nothing.
Wednesday something?
I was
Nothing.
so relieved.
Hump day to make
you.
yourself feel better.
Hump day.
I said goodbye to Miriam, honey.
Bye. Bye, Jane.
Bye.
I'm losing my future daughter-in-law. Oh God.
No, you're not
If
losing
you
her.
meet somebody on the plane, there's going to be hell to pay.
No, she
I
won't,
will.
Jane.
I will shoot that guy. Like, I don't want to let her out of my sight until we nail her down. I love this girl.
Jane, you know people can leave at any time.
Right.
You can. Even if they get married.
You mean shoot an email?
Hey, you
No,
shoot a
I mean,
dirty look.
I actually mean,
Or yell.
I don't kill anybody. I'm Irish. We take you out at the knees.
Oh.
We have standards.
Right. Or just guilt them. Just guilt trip them.
Jane, when is you moved on in the finals, right?
No, I'm in the semifinals. I get out
Yes.
Boston Comedy Festival, and Kathy is hosting that. And I was saying to Kathy, Jim McHugh reached out. I was in his festival maybe 15 years ago. I didn't advance beyond anything. I don't know. I was last place. I figure I've learned a few tricks. So, and I like to be seen. That is the good part of it.
I don't know if you remember this, Jane, but this is the first time that I met you because we were in the Boston Comedy Festival together.
Really?
Years ago, yeah.
But years ago.
Yeah, so I think it was the first time that I was in it, and so that probably would have been 6 years ago or something like that.
I felt like I was
Or
in it.
7?
I thought it was way further back, but I trust your memory more than mine.
Yeah, we're at the Rockwell Theater, and you had just you drove right in, you know.
Like she does.
Yeah.
That's Jane's MO. Hi, I have to pee and I'll be right with you. My favorite. Hi, I'm here. Fig Newtons, Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
I need the ladies. I'll be right with you. I'm ready to go on.
That's really for many of the 20 years.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What you never saw, Kel, was on the road getting to Boston. There would always be one stop at a Dunkin' Donuts to get a bagel,
Of
cinnamon
course.
raisin, keep my strength up.
Yeah.
But, I'm really nervous about, I know Kathy made the finals and I would love to make the finals.
Ooh, Kathy made the finals. Yay!
Last year? Was it last year?
A couple years ago, and the thing with it is that it was wonderful, and you go in thinking like a winner. But the thing you shouldn't do is already spend the money that you didn't win. That was a tough day at J. Crew, I'll tell you.
I went to the finals in 2009.
Right. I think you were one of the first women to do that.
I was the first woman to make it to a finals in 2009.
All
And I
right,
came
Kel.
I came in second place.
Got all the
What?
winners.
In the whole
Yeah.
thing?
In the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was, it's a good experience. It feels good.
I
What
remember.
was it, 2009?
Mm-hmm.
This was in the era of when they didn't let women win yet. I shouldn't say that, but
I don't
women
think-
happened
yeah, I
not to win.
Yeah, that was the thing. The first woman winner was the year I lost. And when they're like, for the first time in the history of the festival, a woman won, and I'm like,
It's me. Yeah.
And my friend sent me the snapshot of Nancy Norton embracing Jim McHugh, and me in the back going,
Good recovery, Kathy. But listen, just but it is great.
This is my gracious.
It it is great that a woman finally won.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yes, it is, Jane. Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's great.
But listen, you guys, there's a kid in, I try not to go look at videos of the other people. You should just do what you do.
That. Yeah.
Yep, never.
Let it go. Because it's so subjective,
Any given show, too. Any given show,
Any given show. And I decided, okay, don't do the divorce material because someone might have had a bad divorce. So,
Don't
like
think about
50% of the population had a divorce, Jane.
Yeah.
well, no, I know that's actually one of my lines.
Your divorce stuff is funny.
But the thing is, what I was thrown a little was, I'd wanted to do this festival last year again. I felt I was ready. And the universe, I couldn't for various reasons. And then I just always wanted to be on that stage, what is it?
The Somerville Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to do it. And also I love this opening line, but then when it went virtual, I can't really do it the same. And what I wanted to do, the opening line was just say, if it were in Boston and it were in person, I could just go, "Hi, I'm Jane. I'm originally from Brockton, but I'm not going to hurt you." That is the perfect line. But I can't say that because it's sort of national now that it's on virtual.
Why? Why can't you say that?
I'm gonna. Well, what I've said in the first round was just, "Hi, I'm Jane, and I'm originally from a real blue collar town in Massachusetts called Brockton, but I'm not gonna hurt you. Tough town, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed to add that because I don't know who's listening. Anybody around Boston knows Brockton, and I just felt like, oh, I love the clarity, the simplicity of the other thing.
Well, just do you. I mean, I don't know your craft or whatever, so I'm not going to step in it, but I kind of am because I can.
Yeah.
I know you well enough
It's
now.
my show.
Just do your thing. Just do your thing.
It's so true. So
Yeah.
true.
It throws you off your rhythm. Do your thing because I guarantee, even if they don't know Brockton, it's funny anyways.
Yeah.
I think giving that extra information is fine too.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't ruin it. Okay.
No. And I hear you. I think there's times where you have to inform a little bit, but you can keep the joke structure the same.
And I only looked at the first person who is also on it. Although the woman had a great picture, but I'm not going to look at videos, nothing of anybody else. Just do what you do, Jane.
Well, now I need to look it up.
No, but wait. But there's one guy on it. He's won best college comedian 3 years in a row.
Jane, you were last comic standing. Okay.
Seriously.
Jane.
Stop it.
I am not going to do this with you.
You're in the 4 o'clock funnies, for God's sake.
Janie Condon.
Thank you.
I'm looking it up now.
Where's Christine? We need Christine to beat us some sense into her.
What I think is great about this, though, is that, other comedians who are on with you, well, first of all, they're probably doing the same thing about you, and that you're I'm not really sure, maybe I would,
And they're like, oh my God, I'm against the last comic standing, yeah.
So old, such a credit,
But, what were they doing when you were doing that?
Oh, they were in junior high
They
school.
were in a ball sack. That's what they were doing.
Okay, that's true. That little college comedian, he wasn't, where was he? He was
Also,
a zygote.
Jane,
He was a zygote.
you know that we can say anything we want about ourselves too, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I'm the Duke of Natick, and I won my Common Ground Fair. I was a prom queen. I'm a joke writer and a clairvoyant. You can say anything you want.
Exactly.
Good.
I'm a long division, and I have an incredible credit score.
That's right. I'm good at
Anybody can say
math.
anything.
Okay, let me ask you one other question, but just audience know that you get very nervous before
I'm
these.
still looking up the comedians.
What are you on?
Okay, so I would love to use just my regular background, but they really want you to use.
Yep, I'm going to do it too.
And so there are 3 of them.
Know them.
I think this is the one I like best.
I didn't know there were 3.
There are 3. I can send it to you.
You don't get them, I guess, Kath.
Oh, really?
As the host. I don't know that.
Be happy. So this is one, but do you see how, got the little It's a problem.
Kath, you might want to wear a shirt that's a different color than
No,
yours.
I like it. I'm a floating head.
They have a floating head. But you know what?
And then here's number 2.
But your head is in the way of the
And here's
thing.
number 3.
No, definitely not.
Not number
one or two, I think.
Yeah,
That's what I
definitely
thought.
not.
I
Yeah.
did this in the
That
first
looks like
round.
a toilet, though. I don't like that. That looks like a toilet to me.
It is a toilet.
Is it?
Oh no, it's a TV.
No.
No, it's not.
It's like, no. Oh, Kathy left.
I did. I didn't like what you guys were saying about me.
Oh.
You know what? This is the 21st year of the Boston Comedy
Yeah.
Festival. This is one of the biggies.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Don't use the toilet.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't know there were 3, so I'm going to change mine to that.
And then while you're here,
She's going to
Bye.
She's going to come with what she's going to wear. What?
It better be a lobster costume or
a
I'm
black
leaving.
turtleneck.
now I have my green turtleneck upstairs. In the prelims, I wore this.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
just do it again because I might not make the finals.
It's your lucky sweater, and that you don't go in with that attitude. Go spend the money now.
Right.
Oh, spend that money.
I just okay, here's the deal why I do whenever I do festivals, I do them to be seen. Because you can win without winning. I know anybody who comes in
Oh, yeah.
with laughter.
Yeah, we're all winners here.
Peggy will hire you if she likes you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the one who came in first. I mean, look at my friend Julia Scotti. She came in second to my other friend Robin Fox. And then I felt a little badly for her because like they were both really excellent. It was a tough call. And so I invited her up here and she was in a show. And guess who was in the audience? My other friend, Susan Sandler, who made a documentary about her. So you don't have to
Awesome.
win in these festivals.
So who judges these? Who judges these things? Is it the audience, or is it like do they have like a slate of judges?
Well, the first round, I
Who
think
can we pay off?
the audience in this, and this is a first, and I don't think that's a good idea, but
Wait, so the audience is the one who's judging the festival this year, right?
no, God, I hope to hell it's judges in the later rounds. I think it was mostly audiences with maybe judges, because they said that in the orientation, and someone said, hey, if I bring the most people, I win? You know, and we're all there like, this is not right.
Yeah.
So nobody was wild about that, but so I don't know how much the judge could put their thumb.
But it worked out for you, didn't it, Jane?
Jane brought everybody.
Because Ken came.
No, that was bad. I said to the children afterwards, why did you invite Daddy?
Right.
I get so nervous when he's in the audience because, you know, Comedy Jane is not the same as
Right.
other Jane.
You know he's right outside,
Yeah.
though, right?
Right.
Like,
Because you've left shows to yell at him,
You know that.
and then come back.
oh, Jane just left. Jane, come back. Don't worry, he's not sneaking up. You don't have to hide, Jane. He can't see you.
Kelly, we found our line.
Jane,
Talking about Ken.
Better.
where is she?
No, here I
And
am.
pulled the
Back.
plug.
Oh,
Ken's like, that's
Ken's
it.
like-
No internet connection
But-
for you.
No, fortunately, but I think it's just judges in
God.
the finals. I think it's just judge. What happened to me?
I don't
No,
know.
let's all do the Jane thing.
No. This is an accident. Okay, here we go. Am I back?
Nope.
no.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I feel like my Jane face is my loser face too. Like,
I can't see that, fortunately.
I'm gonna ask you to start your video. I just used my little magic wand.
The host has asked you to start your video. Okay.
I mean, just while we're waiting, this is my podcast.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just kidding. I was trying to vamp while we were waiting
Thank you.
for Jane to get back.
Yeah.
what happened to me?
Hey, Matt.
I'm back.
Well, I'm just gonna go. Oh my God, Kelly, I love that other one that you just did.
Oh, my
hilarious.
album. Yeah. So Jane, when are you on tonight?
But here's the it's tomorrow night. But I feel if it were the top 2, I would feel like I had a chance. It's only the top 1 in each group.
That's okay though. Like
It's not a chance. What are you talking about? You gotta
Jane-
look like that.
you are someone to me who, and I can say this because I've been on a bazillion shows with you now at this point. Like we've worked together a lot.
Thank God.
You are consistent, hilarious, original, and so damn likable that like, and I learned this
Write
from
these
you.
down.
Yes, and I learned this from you. Festivals and competitions aren't about winning.
Right.
They're about showing up and showing out, right?
Yeah.
For a show. So like go and do your thing and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
I say that to everyone else and then, you know.
Right. And do what you did for Last Comic Standing. Get like super involved in something else, get tired and just come in and be you.
No filters.
Too tired to listen to the inner critic.
Yeah, control Jane is not. Get rid of Carl the critic.
The evil DJ.
Right. Carl the critic.
Yes.
Inner critic Carl.
Bye, Carl.
Yeah.
You know, all you can do is do your best. And I tell this to my kids. Don't look left, don't look right. Do you.
Yeah.
Only one you.
And enjoy the moment of it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the moment of it.
But I wanted to be on one of those wonderful Boston stages. Wasn't it at the Wilbur once? No.
The Wilbur's a great theater.
Yeah. I don't know if he's ever had the show over at the Wilbur. It's definitely Somerville Theater, which is a beautiful
I've
theater.
never done Somerville Theater.
Jane, just so you know, you could just work at Somerville Theater. You're really good.
Yeah.
Also, I was on a show with Jane the other night. Let me just put this out there. We were on a virtual show together for a group of, it was a professional group, a women's professional group. Mm-hmm. And Jane, Bethany Van Delft was hosting, just a master at her craft.
Yeah.
And then Jane goes up and just murders, like murders this room, and like a good murder.
Like a shoot, like like that.
Yeah, she was like pew, 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 pew. And Jane is crushing. Like I wasn't. There was Kenise Mobley was on, then I was on, and I had that moment, right? And again, keep in mind, I know Jane's act. I know Jane. I love Jane. I respect Jane. And I was like, she is crushing. And then all of a sudden, my voice in my head said, "You gotta get your notebook out."
Oh yeah.
You know when your fellow comic is like murdering and you're like that, I gotta step my game up, son. She came to play, right? So that to me is when you can make other comedians, and I think this goes with any job, right? Like when I was in the corporate world, I remember this too, where it's like, if I saw another person crushing, I wasn't like, oh, that person's doing so great. No, I was like, that's amazing. I'm going to take that and use it as inspiration, because if that person can dig deep and do awesome, then there's chance for me too, right? Like
you crushed too. It was an all around great show.
It was a really fun show. I mean, they were hot.
Women got their money's worth. They had 4 great comics, but you have to handicap me a bit in that they were my sweet spot. You know, they were 50 plus.
I mean, feel free to lump me in. That's also my sweet spot. Can I just say
my lion's den? I don't know why 50-year-olds do not.
That's weird, Kat. That's weird. We were supposed to be clean, and at one point, and all the comedians were funny and amazing, but there was a joke that flew, and it started. And I can say anything on this show, right? It started. So picture Jane and I. Jane, can you improv with me for a second? Jane and I are in our squares, right? Being supportive. We're like, and then this joke comes out. Am I too old to be finger banged?
Oh my God.
And Jane and I both went.
If somebody took a picture of that square, I literally saw my jaw go.
Yeah. We were like, what? Like, and it's a funny joke. It's super funny, but I also was like
finger banged in the Coliseum.
Yes,
you didn't have to say it twice, Jane.
Professional women, they were just thinking Coliseum. They skipped that part.
They said, and I'm not even lying. Jane is the witness. They had her repeat it.
Oh God!
They didn't even process. They were women of a certain age so much. They went, what? This comedian, bless her, right? I love her so much, went like this. Oh, what I said was, and I was like, like I was like slow motion running, like, Tell a joke about a kitten. Like, it was crazy. But they loved her. They got it once they were like, oh, okay, this isn't the clean comedy we were just getting.
You know,
We're on board, you know.
When somebody's likable, no matter where they are on the spectrum, you can get away with a lot.
Oh, and she is so likable.
Oh, she's
I mean,
total stars. But I was glad you were closing, Kelly, that show.
My technology, though, we lost.
That was the last time I was riffing with Bethany, and I just kept talking, feeling his face. Oh, Kel's a pro. She'll get herself right back on. She'll probably, go out. She'll come back in. And then Bethany started asking me questions. Someone asked Bethany a question. She asked me a question. And then you were back.
I mean, you guys had my back. I was telling my jokes, right? And I like to put it up on gallery view because it's just more comfortable for me to not be looking at my giant head. So I'm on gallery view and we're all having fun. Everybody's done really great, right? Jane murdered. Bethany is just like amazing. Kenise is adorable. And I'm like, I feed off of that. So I was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was doing all my physical faces and getting up in my camera. And then all of a sudden I delivered and I had been getting consistent laughs and it was silent. And I was like, and then I looked at my screen and I was like, oh no, no one's moving. Like, I was like, can you hear me? No one moved. I was like, shit. So of course I look and I don't have internet. I'm like, who's dicking around on the internet? It's not happening. And then I, had to, but those windstorms were killing us. It took out our internet.
Oh, is that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't
terrible here.
Yeah. I thought maybe your son was, on a video game or something, and they're like, oh my God.
Oh, I would have owned everything that's electronic if that had been the case.
Yes. She'd be sitting here in like a baseball cap and his favorite shirt.
I'd be gaming right now. Yeah.
It was so,
like, I was getting ready to take your controllers. He's like, please don't do that.
I like how you call them your controllers.
I'm going to take your controllers.
Take your controllers.
If I weren't in the comedy business, I wouldn't know what fingering meant.
Oh my goodness gracious.
First of all, I love how you keep bringing up Catherine's like, please.
So please don't ever do this again and say those words.
Don't ever.
I'm going to need you to not, Jane, look at me.
Right.
Look at Catherine. Look at Kathy. No.
Yeah.
Not
Here's the
for
thing.
you.
I don't even have like HBO or anything. I don't even know these. Like, none of this is a thing for me.
Well, the Coliseum is actually located.
I swear to God, they skipped it and went to Coliseum, and they were fine. Like, yes, I remember the last time I was in Rome.
Yes.
I mean, they didn't even hear it, and they're like,
yeah.
I think I heard something in front of Coliseum that's kind of,
What?
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. When
Jane's
she
mouth
again and just let it rip again, and they're like, oh, there's no avoiding it now.
She was like,
Who was that comic? The comic on that she said the C word, and I was like, audibly gasped.
No.
I was like, oh my God.
That was so Barry Elise Rubin.
Was it Barry Elise? Yeah,
I don't remember.
She doesn't talk like that.
Are you sure?
Oh, really?
Well,
I'm laughing. All of a sudden, it was like, and I was, and I wasn't on video because there was 4 of you, and I know I heard it later. I audibly gasped. I was like,
yeah.
I was like,
yeah. I was just like.
Well, she was telling a story too, and all of a sudden, then that comes in. I'm like, weren't we just talking about bread? I don't know. Like,
this is strange to be this angry about sourdough.
I mean, carbs are a bitch. But
I wasn't on that. I wasn't on that episode.
It was. We were so stunned.
Yeah,
we're just stunned.
Jane's texting me after. She's like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like,
"Oh."
I was like, oh my God. She's like, I think I need to like vet these people now and be like, listen.
Yeah. Well, you know what I say to people now when we have a guest was, I said, we are the 4:00 funnies. Okay, you want to
right?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Not 10 o'clock. Not midnight. 4 o'clock. I think every comedian gets that.
Yeah.
But
oh my gosh,
that was a real first, and I didn't expect it out of her at all.
It's
a word I really, really hate. So.
Yeah.
She was likable, so blah, 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 blah.
You know what word I hate? Surcharge. Oh.
And moist.
Oh no. Okay.
Why are we bringing it back? I'm trying to make it
Let's go back to
financial.
licking. Let's go back to licking.
Let's go back to licking.
In a cold way.
Just think about my proposal, though, for vaccines.
think-
Just think about it.
I think it's a great proposal.
Then you
Tweet
have to
it,
write to
Fauci.
Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
And say, this is
Tweet
what I
it,
think.
Fauci.
Fauci,
See what
we
he
love
says.
you so much. But all right. I think we've gone way long. Kat, thanks for being on. And I
Oh,
had a
Hey,
question.
it's been a while.
Well, you look so good. That helps.
Been a minute.
It helps the show.
And Jane, break legs tomorrow night.
Yes.
Break all
You
their
make
kneecaps.
legs tonight because you'll get seen, right? That's the goal. That's
Yeah.
and you're on the women's show, right?
On the Clean Comedy Show with Brian Kiley and
Fun.
Lumberman.
I love Brian
I'm
Kiley.
excited. That's tomorrow night in the Boston Comedy Festival, so I'll have it on.
Wait a minute. So, is it on the same time as mine? It's probably the same time. So I probably can't see you.
No, this is at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
We're,
And yours, I think, is at 7, correct?
no, we're at 8.
Oh, you're
So-
at 8.
They always overlap.
Just really quick, how many people are in the semifinals?
I don't know. It was 96 in the prelims. They took 4 out of maybe 12 in a round.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how many are in the semis. I thought it would go half and half again, but they like to get the finalists to either 8 or 12.
Okay.
I don't know how many semis there are, but they're only taking the top one in each semifinal. So there must be.
So I think there's like 8.
Yeah, 8 of them, I bet.
Yeah.
We'll just
break
have
break
fun.
their legs. Have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
I just want to get a job out of it.
I'm sure you're gonna get jobs, Jane. I'm not
Yeah.
too concerned
Yeah.
about you getting work.
I think you already have jobs, Jane.
I think so.
Think you're
But,
good.
Anyway, well, you're all so wonderful. Thank you for bucking me up. I needed a.
We
pep
have all
talk.
these comments on the videos. People are like, I'm pretending you guys are talking to me and not Jane. This is my pep talk. Like, so it's been really good. It's been really
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, we'll tune in next week.
good. Yes.
We'll see if
Right.
Jane
Yeah.
was a finalist like Kelly, like Kathy, or is she forever not?
Dun, dun, dun.
It's all right. It's all good.
Everyone,
Just
have
wanna
a
be
good one.
seen.
Good
Bye,
luck.
everyone.
Love you madly, deeply. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.